This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, March 27th, 2006, and this is episode number 79 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from MGMstudios.org. On the show today, we've got Mike Newell of MouseWorldRadio.com. Welcome, Mike.
Hello.
Outstanding. And we got Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
Hi there, Tomorrowland travelers. This is Mr. Johnson in Sky Hovercraft 1 bringing you the latest Tomorrowland traffic report. As usual, it's real busy down on the Tomorrowland Superhighway.
You can just see him there with a cup to his mouth doing that too, right?
We also have Len Testa, the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, Matt?
Outstanding as usual.
So this might be the last podcast in which I'm relying on my daughter's Barbie microphone to clue me in. I might actually be going pro after this. You know, I figured after the 80 episodes and all, maybe we're going to stick around.
Maybe it's time to shell out some money.
Maybe it's time, exactly. I'm going pro, baby.
And we also have the winner of March's Listener of the Month contest, Mike Montoya. Welcome, Mike.
Hello.
I know, we brought on yet another Mike to this show. Very smart of us.
Confusing.
Right, just to confuse our listeners a little bit more. And today, like I said, we brought on this month's Listener of the Month winner, Mike Montoya, who sent in his show idea to us by going to www.wdwtoday.com/listener, and he was selected by our panel to come on today and talk with us about a topic that he finds near and dear to his heart, which is being a custodian at Walt Disney World, and we'll get to that in just a second. But if you'd like to appear on next month's show, simply fill out the form at www.wdwtoday.com/listener and send it in. If you've already sent in your entry, don't worry, we have them all, so don't feel like you have to send it back in because we'll already go through those every month, and we try to find our next winners. But please send it in so you can appear just like Mike, and last month we had Sarah. So, Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit of your history with the Walt Disney World Company? You're a former cast member, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I actually enrolled in the Walt Disney World College program, and I moved down, and they chose me to be a custodial cast member. I participated in the Spring 2003 Advantage program, which means that you go just a little bit longer than all the other cast members in the program. And I was a rollerblading custodian in Tomorrowland, so it was a really neat experience.
Now, the thing that I never understood about being a custodian at Walt Disney World is it's just why don't you first tell our listeners the benefits of being it, and I'm going to tell you why I don't think it's still a good idea, but tell us the benefits of being one.
The benefits of being a custodial cast member are, well, you get to walk around. You get to see a lot of different things. You get to talk to a lot of people. Whereas if you were running operations like in an attraction, say Space Mountain or something like that, you're pretty much stuck in that attraction, measuring kids and things like that. Cleaning is a big aspect, but you're not locked to it. I mean, you can have movement throughout the park if you wanted to help a family find an attraction or something like that. And it's just a lot of movement. And I actually... It was nice because it was like an exercise routine. There was a lot of lifting and pushing, and so it was a lot of fun.
Great. Now, one of the aspects you said is, for some people might not understand, as a custodian, you can go from any part of the park to any other part of the park, and you have free roaming ability. And
not entirely.
Okay.
Really?
Not entirely. Like, I would be scheduled in the Tomorrowland section of the Magic Kingdom. But, if I wanted to walk across the park or whatever with a family, help them find an attraction, I was allowed to do that. I didn't have to ask for permission or anything like that. And then when we did grad nights, I remember all the custodial cast members, we kind of walked around the park, just saw what was going on, because they bring in different performers and stuff that put on concerts and things like that. I got to see a lot of celebrities and performers working out there, too. So if you hear that someone's in the park, I mean, no one's going to really keep you in your land. You can walk and see what's going on. There's really no one watching, breathing down your back 24/7. So
you have front row for Loverboy? Is that what you're saying, Mike?
No, I saw. I actually one time I actually saw Michael Jackson. He walked right by me. That was kind of interesting. And Al
Really?
Roker and I saw Good Charlotte when they were out there. Yeah, a lot of celebrities, Mariah Carey and John Travolta, they were out there when I was out there. So
Mariah Carey played a grad night?
no, Mariah Carey didn't play on grad night.
Okay.
She was in the park, and we went over to go
Did she have an
see her.
entourage?
Oh yeah, whenever celebrities come around, there's usually a group of people, and then other celebrities like Al Roker. He didn't have anyone around, but someone said that he was in the park, and he just walked right by. I don't think anybody really realized who he was. So.
Well, I know when Scopa walks around
Yeah,
the park, he's got maybe 3 or 4 people. That's it, tops. I mean, go ahead, Mike. I didn't mean to. So, Mike, you're wearing the white uniform, right? Between lands,
yeah,
right?
yeah, the white costume. They're not uniforms. They're
Costume. Sorry, that's right. You're on stage. I forgot.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the white slacks and then the white shirt with like a blue patch on the side. And then you carry a blue pouch with you, and that's where you keep your rain gear and your information maps and things like that.
Did you say what school you went to? This is part of the college program, right?
Yeah, the college program. At that time, I was a student at Minot State University in Minot, North Dakota.
And what were you majoring in?
Computer support.
Cool. And so, how did you end up in custodial? Did you just interview for anything, or?
Yeah, basically, I knew that I wanted to partake in the program, and
Right.
I went. They kept pushing custodial. Like they made it sound like custodial was like the best thing you could ever do, and they really pushed it. Like that was one job that they really strongly were pushing, but it seemed like not very many people were signing up for. You know, I'll take whatever they can offer me. You know, so I applied for that, and then I got it. You know.
Well, here's the issue, I guess. I know that there's a lot of freedom with it, and that is something to be said. But I just think as great as that is, the first time you have to go clean up the toilet because there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would just be like, okay, is there an opening at Splash Mountain to go work at? Because they don't have to deal with that.
Well, they have really good training out there. They train you how to handle almost any situation. You know, everything from blood being all over the ground to kids urinating and, I mean, feces, everything. You're trained into it, and there's kind of like a separation. Like if I cleaning bathrooms right now, I don't have a problem with cleaning bathrooms. I used to have a problem before I went into the job, but you see it so much and clean it, and you know how to handle it, so it's not disgusting. Because some people, I mean, if you see urine on the ground, you wouldn't necessarily know how to clean it. You know, take some paper towels or whatever. But they have what's called Boban, which is like wood chips, and you actually pour it and sweep it away, and then you mop the area.
Interesting.
So they make everything easy. So, and if there was ever a big problem, you could always call other cast members over to help you as well. So.
Now, of course, Disney doesn't. There is no such thing as puke or throw up at Walt Disney World. Is that right?
Yeah. No,
Really?
puke. No, puke is considered a protein spill. That's what they call it, a protein spill. If urination on the ground is a liquid protein spill, and like blood or something like that, it would be a BBP spill, which stands for bloodborne pathogen. So you talk in that code when you tell someone there's a protein spill somewhere. You know, you don't want to say, "Hey, someone vomited over there." It's really bad show. And Disney's all about show, you know. So.
That's interesting.
So did you ever work nights, like after the park closed?
Oh, yeah. No, that's
Scopa and I have
that's
this-
third shift.
Do what?
It's called third shift.
Okay, so you work third shift.
No, regular cast members don't work third shift. They have special people that work third shift. And basically what third shift does is they spray down the cement and they polish brass and they paint and they fix light bulbs. I mean, all the things that they normally couldn't do during the day, they do at
Right.
night. And then when they spray they spray the concrete, and you don't want to do that during the day because it will just evaporate right away. You know, people will be in the way. So that's basically what third shift does. And they drive big trucks on stage. They spray everything, not just the concrete, like everything, to make it look new again.
And when you say, Mike, when you say on stage, for some of our listeners that might not be aware, on stage means like in an area where guests could be,
Yeah,
as
like
opposed to
building.
backstage.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, anywhere a guest can go is considered on stage.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you when you were working?
Oh gosh, there's this really nasty. It was in Pete's garage.
All right, hold on. I gotta sit down. Go ahead.
in Pete's garage, the restroom. I was in the back room. I was grabbing some toilet paper or something, and I heard like this guy. He sounded like he was heaving, and I thought he was just. I think he thought he was just playing around or whatever. And I go over to check to see what's going on, and he's throwing up in the sink. In
the sink?
You know, at Disney World, in the sink, and at Disney World, automatic sinks or whatever. So while he's throwing up, standing in front of the sink, it's filling up with water. And they have this, they have the strainer at the bottom of the sink, and it's like all clogged and everything. And I called down to custodial base. I'm like, I wasn't trained on how to do this or whatever. And they're like, well, find a way. So I basically had to put these big.
What are you, MacGyver? Oh, I'm sorry.
Find the rubber band.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. So first of all, I just stuck a mop head in there to see if I could like absorb it all, but that didn't really work. So I actually had to put some rubber gloves on and like dig it out of there and carry it over to the toilet and throw it away. And he must have ate something over at Cosmic Rays or something because it was.
There's a lawsuit. Go ahead.
Smoked turkey legs.
So.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
So,
but other than that, how was the job otherwise? Was it, was it pretty easy?
Yeah, the job wasn't too bad. There's a little bit of work like lifting garbage and stuff like that, especially when the AVAC went down.
Yeah.
And the AVAC is the apparatus that vacuums the garbage out of the Magic Kingdom, and it's only in the Magic Kingdom. So when the AVAC goes down, we're big babies, and we actually have to do like the rest of the parks and actually go throw it away in dumpsters.
Do you ever just be like, yeah, I'm going to go make sure TTA is clean. I'm going to ride that a few times, make sure everything's okay?
No, not really. Protein spills are fairly a big thing that happened around Tomorrowland and in Toontown. Like, you'd think there'd be a lot of them in Space Mountain. I think I only had to do it 2 or 3 times out of Space Mountain. And I always thought that the teacups would be really bad for protein spills. Not necessarily the case.
Well, it's because people throw up in the bushes around it, right? You don't have to clean up the bushes. That's just fertilizer. I mean, why do you think those plants look so lush?
Mike, were there a lot of protein spills during grad night? That would be the night that I would think
actually,
there would be some protein spills.
No, actually, I think they really watched the kids. I didn't really see a whole lot of mischief going on around grad nights, and I worked a majority of them. And I didn't realize how much or how many grad nights they actually do. They do quite a few. So.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Now, Mike, you have some questions for us. Is that right?
Yeah. The one time I heard a friend saying that they used to do breakfasts in the Haunted Mansion, like a special tour or something. I don't really know, but they would actually do it in the dining room scene where you actually see the ghosts appear.
Right. I believe that occurred during the 999 Happy Haunts event, which occurs usually late October, close to Halloween, and it's a separate admission kind of event. It's hard ticketed. It's very limited admission. I'm not sure. Did it happen again last year? Does anyone know? 5?
Not that I know of.
I don't recall. I don't think so. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. But I know that during that event they have a breakfast event that goes on, and they're really expensive. I mean, we're not talking like extra $100 or something. I mean, it's a complete package. You do all sorts of special things like meeting Imagineers and staying place, and that's what I think. That's what you're referring to, because there's no other breakfast events that I know of inside the park.
But the thing is that I don't understand how they could have done that, because I've actually walked the sets a couple of times at the Haunted Mansion, and to get in the dining room, for anyway how we got down there, we actually had to crawl through this small space, and I couldn't imagine them bringing food down and serving food, stuff like that.
Isn't there like some sort of emergency exit or something? I mean, couldn't they go through like a... I've been through the back of the Haunted Mansion a couple times. There are hallways and whatnot, like service corridors throughout the building, I guess used for fire escapes. And my guess is they're bringing the food in that way.
I have no idea how they do it. So I was just wondering if that was even a true rumor.
Yeah.
And then another question I had was, I kept hearing something about a Project Gemini, it being connected with Spaceship Earth, but it seemed like every single time when people talked about Project Gemini, it was always towards something else. And someone said that Mission Space was Project Gemini. I don't know.
No.
Mike Scopa?
What I can tell you is that Project Gemini is it's sort of a moving target. It was supposed to be a complete overhaul of Future World, and actually what they were going to do is they were going to change the name of Future World to Discovery Land. Now, and they were also supposedly going to add much more vegetation and make it more lush, more almost like a tropical setting. That's what I heard. Now, as far as what the changes were, we've already begun to see some of the changes. Part of the overall change was to add mission space, which has been added. Also, there were 9 points. There was Soren was supposed to be added. They were supposed to do something with living seas, but at that time they were talking Little Mermaid. And now you've seen what they've done with Nemo and Crush. They were going to add a roller coaster. They were going to add a roller coaster with a rainforest kind of theme to it, which is kind of weird because we're talking Epcot. Racers thing, of course, we've all heard. That is probably not going to happen, at least in the near future, because of the integrity of Spaceship Earth. What was funny was that at that time I believe they were talking with Microsoft regarding Time Racers. But as we all know, another company is now sponsoring Spaceship Earth, Siemens. Let's see. They were going to do a full reconstruction of the Wonders of Life. They were going to turn that into something along the line of a junior Autopia. That was another thing that I had heard. There was also talk about a hedge maze, and I don't know where that was going to be placed.
Yeah, the hedge maze was interesting because it was part of the whole making Future World greener. Like they were going to add trees to it. Right now it's essentially concrete, right?
Right.
Right. And the only other two things I remember was there was a Home of the Future, and they've sort of done that in Interventions, and then they were going to bring in, and I think that this was where the what's the name of that? The Odyssey restaurant used to be. I had heard that they were even thinking about turning that into something called the Internet Cafe. So all those changes, Mike.
So essentially, they were turning it into a Starbucks.
yeah. But again, it was all part of a complete overhaul of Future World, and they were going to call it Discovery Land. Some of those plans have come into play, and some of them have been put away, and there are probably others that are on the drawing board that we haven't heard about. But basically, they just wanted to redo Future World. They did not want Future World to turn into what Tomorrowland turned into, because Tomorrowland had some real catch-up to do.
I think
that's.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think Jim Hill's got a couple of articles that he did late last year, early this year, on what Gemini was supposed to be, and also I think they got wdwmagic.com. If you do a link search in the forums for Project Gemini, you'll see quite a bit on that. Those guys over there have some details, I think, or many more details.
Everything should be taken with a grain of salt, though, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine periodically the Disney execs ask someone to do like a 10-year study or a 20-year study of what the theme parks are supposed to look like, and this is probably just, one of the ones that they did in the recent past. But as always, I mean, Disney's not going to put the kind of money into their theme parks, I think, for the next couple of years that they've been putting into it. So,
Great. Well, any more questions, Mike?
Yeah, a couple more questions actually for Mike. Mike, how long did you stay with Disney?
I was there for 8 or 9 months, I think. I graduated the college program, so I came back to school then. After
how
that.
long ago did you you graduate from the college program?
I ended in August of 2003. I went from January to August.
Oh, cool. Would you work there again?
Yes, I would, and I would actually do custodial again if I had the chance. It was that much fun. Even with a college degree, I would still do it. So.
That's interesting.
Well, one more thing, because I listened to last time's show, and you guys were doing Toontown facts or trivia.
Sure.
And I have one.
Oh, go ahead.
What brand tool is found in Mickey's garage?
Dude,
in Toontown.
a good one.
All right, Here, give us one hint. Is it a real tool, like is in the real world, or is it made up?
No, it's made up.
Okay.
I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure.
Go ahead. I don't
is
think
it-
anyone else has got an idea, so shoot for it, Mike.
Is it Binford?
It's no.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good
It's
one.
Kraft's mouse.
Crafts Mouse.
Crafts Mouse.
Oh, nice.
That's clever.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's right. You too, if you work 8 months at Walt Disney World, you too will find
Yeah,
interesting trivia like that.
That's awesome.
That's great, Mike.
Nice.
Well, thanks for being on the show, Mike. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure
was
there's 50 more stories we could tell, and it was great having you on. And like I said, if you want to be like Mike and be on Listener of the Month, just fill out the form at www.wdwtoday.com/listener. And that's it for us today. This has been episode number 79 of Walt Disney World Today. If you want to find older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. You can also email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, Mike Montoya, I'm Matt Hotchberg. We'll see you on the next show.